Hey, Super League! It's your Super League Commissioner for Life, Andy Persetta, and guess what? I just got a webcam. As you can tell, I don't know how to use it. I'm not very telegenic, but it's here and we're going to use it. Maybe you noticed I didn't write as many articles this year as I had in years past, and now that I have a webcam, I'll be able to use this for updates. I don't know how to read my notes. I'm constantly looking down, but whatever. We're going to use it, and hopefully over the off season, I'll learn how to put graphics on there and maybe add some highlight packages and do like a little Sports Center type thing every week. So that'll be pretty cool. Maybe we even have shows about, poignant shows discussing race in sports, or should transgender women be allowed to compete in Olympic wrestling? Who knows? Who knows? It's a whole new world, and we got it. So that's great. One of the other things about Super League, and one of the big problems, is that at this time of the year, the biggest time of the year, the Final Four, nobody's paying attention. It's because everyone was eliminated weeks ago. So what we're going to do next year is we're going to have what I call a second chance tournament. Everybody who loses in the tournament will go down to the second chance tournament for having a second chance. I guess you guys could put that together. But at the end, hopefully, my goal is to have like 20 plus teams still alive on the last week of the season. So anyway, that should be great. You'll have more specific information next year. Now, let's get to the Final Four. The Final Four this year, as I mentioned, is very exciting. You know those an NCAA tournament when they have one team like Virginia Commonwealth, get to the Final Four, and then all week they have this story about how they came up from the ashes and their coach's wife had cancer and their star player got recruited by Duke, but he got in trouble and all stuff. We have like 4 teams like that in our Final Four. It's amazing. Here's an interesting fact. After week 4 of the season, the teams that are currently in the Final Four were 5-16-1. 5 wins, 16 losses, and 1 tie. And yet they're all in the Final Four. The other interesting fact is last week in the Elite 8, all 4 teams that won, Tennessee, Arizona State, Oklahoma State, Michigan State, avenged a loss earlier in this season to get to the Final Four. So let's take the teams one by one, and then I'll tell you who's going to win, and I'll be wrong again. First off is Tennessee. Tennessee is coached by Dave Hollenbach. Dave Hollenbach is the only Final Four participant left that I actually know. The other 3 people I've never met. Tennessee started the season 1-4, and they're currently on an 11-game winning streak, which is, I think, the 3rd best ever. Amazingly, they average 109 points a game since week 5. So Tennessee is on a roll, and they can't be stopped. As a matter of fact, they broke the all-time record in week 9. They scored 155 points that week. If you look at the scoring that week, they had the 1, 2, and 3 top scorers in Super League on their team that week, and they had the 4th highest scoring player on their bench. Last week, Tennessee beat Kentucky, and I looked it up. Kentucky was 5-0. All 5 years in the regular season, Kentucky beat Tennessee, but when it counted, Tennessee and Mr. Hollenbach won and made it to the Final Four. Good on you, Dave. Next up is Arizona State. Arizona State's coached by John Radel. I've never met him. I'm not even sure he exists. But he's in the Final Four, and I believe for the second time. I think it's the second time in 4 years he's been in the Final Four. Arizona State, listen to this, they started the season 0-5. Actually, they started 0-4, and then just when they think they turn around, in like week 4, they scored 110 points, and they still lost. And so that's pretty amazing. They were 0-5. They're 10-2 in their last 12 games. At the end of the regular season, when they won 7-9, didn't even score 100 points. Now, in the playoffs, Arizona State has 114, 98, and 108 points in 3 games. Again, super hot. Tennessee, Arizona State this week. Great matchup between 2 hot teams that just cannot be beat. The 3rd team is Oklahoma State. The great thing about Oklahoma State is coached by a woman. Not only that, coached by a woman named Brandy. Not only that, they're coached by a woman named Brandy who spells her name with an I at the end. She probably writes a little heart over it, too. First woman ever to make it to the Final Four. She averaged just 79 points during the regular season. Had to beat 2 teams, Missouri and Texas Tech, in the last week. The last 2 weeks, just to get into the tournament at 7-6-1. And she only averaged 79 during the season, but she scored 94, 93, and 102 in the 3 playoff games. Now, it was a little bittersweet for me because I lost in the first round to Oklahoma State because I had a coin flip for a kicker and I picked the wrong kicker. And had I not picked the wrong kicker, I would be in the Final Four right now. I'm not bitter, though. I'm not bitter at all. Not bitter in the least about stupid frickin' fantasy football. Not at all. Let's move on. The last team in the Final Four is Michigan State. I love Michigan State and Coach Justin, I don't know if I'm saying this right, Orovitz. Again, never met the guy. Justin Orovitz. Michigan State finished the regular season 5-9, 11th place in the Big Ten, but because of my commercial role, my brilliance, Michigan State got an attorney through the Super Wild Card. They had a 6.64 all-play winning percentage, which was near 100 points better than anyone else in missed a tournament. I think they finished like 4th in scoring in the whole league, so they deserve to be in, even at 5-9. Listen to this. Michigan State lost games this year where they scored 94 points, 96 points, 98 points, and 112 points. Clearly, they had a tough schedule. Once they got in, boom, they're ready to go. So, who's going to win it all? Well, like I said, Michigan State, Arizona State, Tennessee, they all deserve it. They're all playing really well. But let me give you a little thing, and if you read my stuff, you know this. Every year that I've been in this league, I've been in a tournament, and every time I've lost in the tournament, the team that beat me went on to win the tournament. In the first year, I lost to Michigan in the national championship game. I lost to Virginia Tech in the NIT, and they went on to win that. The last 2 years, I lost in the Final 8 to Ohio State and South Carolina, and they both went on to win. So this year, I'm going to pick Oklahoma State to win it all, only because of that. About time to sign off now. Here's what I want you to do, if you want to, since you won't remember this later. If you have any suggestions and stuff for the league, email me. Just go up to the top, communications, and hit email to Commissioner. Do not suggest that we have pickups. Everybody's asking about that. My personal feeling is if, like, somebody in the Final Four now, like, owns Bryce Brown or Cecil Shorts, they did that because they were brilliant. They actually picked them on draft day, and I don't think we should reward other teams in other conferences by letting them pick up these hot pickups, especially toward the end of the season. And the other thing is, for those of you who know about webcam and video and stuff, feel free to send me some tips, how I'm supposed to look, what I'm supposed to look at, what I'm doing wrong, because I've never done this before. So anyway, Andy Presetta, Commissioner, signing off, and good luck.